Hello, everyone. Once again, KermMartian back with Train Simulator 2021. This is episode 2 of Train Sim 2021. And this is KermMartian Live number 40. So I've been sitting here and rambling about trains for 39, going on 40 episodes, which is very exciting. In my previous episodes, I didn't have a small kitten trying to eat all the cables while I stream trains, but hopefully that is no more distracting than all of the usual banter. Hope you all have been well. It's been a little while since my last stream, but let's see what happened. So, might as well jump right into it. I just got a bunch of new routes in the Steam Autumn sale because Kerm and his money are soon parted by trains. And we are on the Waterloo to Portsmouth line. So, good morning, driver. Welcome to the Portsmouth Direct Line. In Part 1, you will be at the controls of a Class 444 on a full-length service of the route from London Waterloo to Portsmouth Harbour, going as far as, Haslemere, maybe, before this section of the service concludes. Please allow passengers to board here before departing. Also, I'm going to enlarge my OBS window because I cannot see what you all are saying. Hooray! All right, now I can see. Thank you, Pie Man. I appreciate you recording the awful noise for posterity. All right, let's see what we got here. Driver vigilance is active. External alarms are active. That's helpful. Let's get our doors open. We are in a Southwest Trains Class 444. Which Train Simulator actually got permission to use, which is why it says Southwest Trains instead of just being interesting colors. Put ourselves into forward. That's not forward. That's forward. Looks like we'll be here at Waterloo for a few minutes, so I'm going to wander around. I have not been to Waterloo in person or in Train Simulator. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a bunch of outdoor platforms here. Ooh, some trains coming in. Hello, trains. Oh, twitchy mouse. Trains, trains, trains. That's quite nice. And, oh hey, the London Eye is over there. Much construction. What if we go indoors here? There's a train shed. Have I been to Waterloo? No, I don't think so. In Train Simulator. I've definitely not been to it in real life. London Waterloo. Lord B. Yes, Mochi. I don't know if you guys can hear the meowing. You folks can hear the meowing, but it's there. Oof. Don't walk on the tracks, dude. We have some food here. Get some Cornish pasties. I don't know what platforms is. Alright. That means we should get back to our train. Doors are closing imminently. That's very beepy. Not my favorite noise. Oh, is that my driver vigilance? I am definitely vigilant. Fascinating. Why the beeps? Reading manuals is for suckers. Interesting. Well, neutral and forward did the trick. We'll have to figure that out. There we go. That's the door sound. All right. We've got the double beep. So let us release our brakes. And off we go. Notch one. Where is our first signal? I don't see one. Speed limit is 15. This appears to be a third rail train based on the fact that I see third rails. Do I see little third rail shoes on our trucks? I do. Hooray. I have not had pasties, but I am intrigued. It sounds like they are pastry and meat, and I like pastry and I like meat, so very good. Let's assume... Ah, there's that annoying noise again. So somewhere there's a button that makes it not do that. I might have to look up what it is. Interesting. Stand by. I'm going to look that up. Class 444 beeping. That is like the top result for class 444 on Google. Driver vigilance device. You can hit E to disable it, or disable it with to acknowledge it rather, or Control D to disable it. Now we know. All right, we're gonna lose some time here. That's all right. Now we know. E to make it stop beeping, and if it gets too annoying, we'll press Control D. Driver vigilance, of course, being if you are a train driver and you fall asleep, it'll go beep 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 at you until you wake up again, or if you're distracted. I don't know what that train is there. Oops, we're going a little bit speedy there. Let us not speed. We're going to go for professionalism today, as we tend to. Will we get 1,000 points? Probably not. We'll probably go speeding. We'll try not to spad. So, how have you all been? Any trains in your life? I have a train story about Amtrak to tell you all, but it will wait until when I'm not actively trying to stay 50 miles an hour. Our next stop is going to be, well, it looks like it should be Woking, but I feel like that's not correct. Ah, E. Aha! Hooray. Oops, we're about speed. What? What? Alright, 2 points. That's fine. That's fine. We can live with 2 points. But now we can go at 50 miles an hour. Hooray. Notch 5, you say? Some interesting noise. Oh yeah. AWS says ding. We've got the green. We've got some nice little clouds in the sky at 8 a.m. Converting a bus station to a train station. Very good. I'm very pleased to hear that. I feel like the trend in America would be to convert the opposite. Train stations into bus stations. So if we can get more train stations, all the better. We're almost at 50, so let's notch 1. And off. Exactly 50 miles an hour. So this is my first time driving the class 444. My first time on the London to Portsmouth line. And I have no idea what is ahead of us. Alright, we have 23 miles until Woking, so I don't have to worry that I was supposed to stop here or something. That is good. Hello, people. Please stand away from the platform edge. Oh, I forgot. I was very kindly by a person from England sent videos that include audio from a train station in England. So I got to hear, both on and off the train, so I got to hear what the train station says when trains are arriving and when trains are passing through. And I also heard what the announcements on the train sound like. And I wanted to incorporate that new knowledge this time, but I'm afraid I didn't review. Hello, small cat. E. E. Yes, thank you. Tell me if that gets too annoying and I'll disable the driver vigilance device. I'm trying to go for realism here, but if it's too irritating, I suspect a specific few of you might find that overly irritating. I can turn it off. So, we are speeding out of London now, going as far as I know, southwest towards Portsmouth. I should really pull up a map. You can hear my phone. Interesting. Anyway, so I was saying about the train announcements and the station announcements. I will do my best to emulate them, but I apologize if they are not quite to the level of realism one might hope from a KermMartian trains stream. Wants to see my cat. Well, there is a picture. There is one picture of picture of Mochi on my Instagram. Oh, we're about speed. Along with pictures of two very beautiful embroideries that I recently acquired. But I will try to post more photos. Come to think of it, we don't really have a pet thread on Chemitrek, which slightly surprised me. I feel like surprises me. Words are hard. I feel like we should. Ooh, hello train. Screenshot. So I like that it makes noise even when you're out of the cab. This was one of the big problems that's caused me issues in the past when I've left my cab to take screenshots and Train Simulator has gone, oh no, AWS alert. But it only makes noise when you're actually in the cab, so I've gone into emergency and come to a grinding halt. And everything has gone terribly wrong. Apparently they've come up with a solution. Let's start slowing down for that 50-mile-an-hour zone. I will add a pet thread. Mochi's not ready to be a YouTube star, Nick? Pie Man, you like embroideries and kitties. I like trains and sunsets. I like cats and embroideries too. I'm going to press E just for fun. So yeah, my hypothesis is if I just tap E every once in a while, that the driver vigilance device will not go off and it won't be loud and annoying. Ah, I was wrong. Pressing E when it's not beeping does nothing. Now we know. Frame rate's suffering a little bit. We are now 20 and a half miles. 20 and 2/3 miles from Woking. Going through some station that I can't see the name of. I should pull up a map. Blow my horn so people don't stand too close to the edge. Yeah, so what did that announcement sound like? I think it was something like, the next service on Platform 2 will not be stopping at whatever station name that was. Please stand away from the platform edge. But please stand away from the platform edge is definitely America, so that's not correct. Alright, 75 miles an hour. Speed and power! We get that wonderful hum. Hello train, I'm gonna honk at you. Love that hum of the train spooling up. That is one of the best sounds. Ah. E. So, I feel like I should save this for later in the stream. But there's 6 of you here now, so I'll say it anyway, and then I'll have to repeat it later. So, I have been begrudgingly convinced as a Christmas present to drive a train into a lake in Train Simulator. So, while this may not actually be a video that goes up on my YouTube, I can confirm that I will be driving a train into a lake around Christmas Eve or so. So, speaking of dumbest ways to die, please be aware that that is a thing that will happen. So if you want me to drive a train into a lake, you should not miss that stream, or you will be very disappointed. I thought that would make you happy. If for some reason this is the first time you're on one of my streams, or if you're watching this video as the first of my Train Simulator videos, for the last 2 or 3 streams, the folks here have been nagging me to drive a train into a lake, and I say no, I will not drive a train into a lake, because we go for realism and professionalism. And what if one day I want to get a job as a train operator and people go, oh, let us look to see how he has done at virtual trains. And I am crashing trains into lakes, and they say, we do not want our trains crashed into lakes. What if we do not hire him to drive our trains into lakes? So, but alas, I have been convinced. So this is a two-parter, by the way. This particular scenario, I should clarify, going all the way to Portsmouth in this class 444. Since I had actually decided, again with some encouragement, to make today a train day. Normally my Sundays, it is Sunday in the real world, are full of going and volunteering with big trains and working on repairing the trains or operating the trains or fixing overhead line or track or other good things. I did not go today for various reasons. So I decided to make it a virtual and small train day. So I don't have a particular time limit. Hello, platform. On my virtual trains. Oh, I think I saw what that said. Hold on. Let's see if we can figure out what station this is. Where is a sign so we can see what station this is? Here it is. Wimbledon. That is a place that I know. That is a thing I know how to pronounce. Whoa, it got dark. All right, we've lost 2 points so far. Our ETA is 12 seconds late to Woking, so we shall see. Oh yes, I was saying, so I will probably at least do part 1 and part 2 of this route. I just got like 4 or 5 new routes, 2 individual ones, Liverpool to Manchester, and the London Waterloo to Portsmouth line, and then a bundle that has a bunch of interesting things in it. I have the Peterborough to Peterborough, apparently, to York line, and a few other ones. So after I do this two-parter, we'll see about the next one. Yes, I think taking a corner at speed is what it's going to have to be. A corner that, goes the correct way next to a lake, curves away from the lake, so I just have to go super fast so I tip over and go into the lake. I feel like there's probably some route that has like a causeway along a body of water that I can go too fast on, and that is how I will get a train into a lake. I mean, I could cheat and I could make my own route where the track just ends at a lake, but I feel like that's not really the spirit of what you all have been asking for. What percentage of real train lines do I have? Oh my gosh, like worldwide, like 0.05 probably, 0.01, I don't know, something. Oh, in Britain. Almost all of the lines that I have come out of London, so I have a small fraction, I don't know, 15%, 10% probably. It would be super cool to combine them all together into one big network. I don't think Train Simulator can handle that, however. I have been looking at, some people have made merges from London King's Cross all the way to Edinburgh, which is combining at least 3 routes. King's Cross to Peterborough, Peterborough to York, and York to Edinburgh. But it also requires a bunch of other pieces. I've been gradually collecting them. I do not have them all yet. So that would be an epic journey. I'm glad I have the Just Trains Great Western main line now, because that is a nice long journey from, what was that, Paddington, all the way through into Wales. Cardiff or further, I think. I think. Maybe not. Maybe it only went as far as the English part of that route, and then you had to get another route to go to Wales. Oh, now I'm rusty on that. I definitely, in my epic 3-part stream that I did here on my channel, you can go back and look for it if you would like to go all the way from, where did I start? All the way to Paddington along the Great Western Main Line. But it was definitely England in which I started. Now I want to research that, if there's a merger to go from Cardiff to Paddington. There's a lot of, even now, after a lot of train lines have been retired, there are a lot of train lines in Britain. A lot. The density of trains is totally unmatched. We can't match that with anything we have here in the States. You know, we have the Northeast Corridor, some commuter lines around cities, and then the cross-country Amtrak lines. They have train lines between every major city. Hello, train. I blow my horn. What kind of train are you, actually? Were you the same as my train? Yeah, I think that was another Class 444. I'm not convinced there are trains on this route that are not 444s. That's why we'll have to look up the 444 so I can tell you some stuff about it. I know it's an EMU. I know it's third rail. EMU, electric multiple unit, so, you know, has no onboard power generation capability. And it's MU'd, meaning that you can operate it from, you know, a cab and have the motors in the rest of the train all pay attention to you. Let's get up to that 90-mile-an-hour limit. The States is a huge area. See, yes, this is an argument that people make, that we don't have the trains in the U.S. because we don't have the density over the huge area that we have. It's an argument, but we do have an interstate system that covers a huge area, and, you know, jewel for jewel, cars are far less efficient than trains for carrying people. So we have a legacy of having huge connectivity of trains. Almost every town and city had a trolley line earlier in the 20th century, and they all were removed and replaced with buses, or just removed entirely, as Americans subscribe to the idea of the private car and the quote-unquote freedom that it gives you. Have fun, Eames/Nathaniel. Enjoy your skating. So, you know, we chose to rip up a huge amount of infrastructure that we had in trains and trolleys, you know, long-distance trains and short-distance trains, rather than maintain it, in favor of roads. And obviously I think that was a huge mistake. But it's not that we never had it and couldn't have it, it's that we did have it and removed it in favor of petrol-powered infrastructure. The timescale is different. The timescale is certainly different. England has grown up over a much longer time. It has been pointed out to me repeatedly how our oldest buildings are like little children compared to the oldest buildings in English places. But obviously I'm a biased party because I believe trains are the superior transportation method, and really we should have trains everywhere and just use efficient electric mass transit for last mile solutions. But that is something that will take a very long time if it ever happens. There is definitely a trend towards more trains in the US, which is good. I have a secret plan that I think we should take all the interstates, and for the ones that are divided, we should just run trains up the center, because the right-of-ways have already been cleared. Hello, train. I blow my horn. Love it. And that would be a way to sneakily put trains everywhere, and then we could just abandon, you know, I don't think we would. But it would at least give us an easy way to have trains go many places that trucks and cars can go. So much of train infrastructure in the U.S. long distance is driven by freight rail, which is a cost-effective way to get lots of stuff from point A to point B. So it seems like taking advantage of that would be a good start. Good. I'm glad to hear that, bye, man. Light rail is an excellent solution. Do you happen to know if there were trolleys there where the light rail line is going in back in the day? before it was torn out and then replaced later with light rail. Also, we have just 7 1/3 miles to Woking. Humming along at 90 miles an hour in our class 444. Let's do something dangerous. Oh yeah. Drive-by horn time. I'm keeping an eye on the AWS alerts. Love the Doppler effect. Oh yeah. Anyway, back in the cab. Nice, Pie Man. That's good. I like buses, don't get me wrong, but I like light rail so much more. I would prefer buses to cars, and light rail to buses, and trains to light rail. That is the hierarchy of Christopher. Nice. Unfortunately, we also tend to pay massive amounts of money per mile for rail infrastructure compared to other countries. In New York City, the East Side Access Project, which is taking the Long Island Railroad, which previously went into one terminal, Penn Station, and get it to go also to another terminal, Grand Central, has cost just fabulous amounts of money, just unbelievably large amounts of money. A lot of that is because it's complicated. They have to dig super far underground underneath all kinds of other infrastructure. But even accounting for that, just the expenditure is insane. But what if they have a dedicated bus lane? That is at least one good solution, as long as the private cars don't complain too much about losing a lane. Fun fact, more lanes equals more traffic. It doesn't make it less traffic. 4 2/3 miles to Woking. Yes, light rail is trams if you are watching this in the UK or elsewhere where they're not called light rail. Specifically, light rail is usually multi-unit trams. Like the one in Dublin would absolutely be classified as a light rail system. Historically, I think trams would have referred first, at least, to the single unit little, what I would call a trolley. Light rail specifically is differentiated by usually being a multi-unit little consist. Usually has low-level boarding, ground level boarding. Definitely electric in most cases, probably with the pantograph these days. 3.5 miles to Woking. I don't know what the brake behavior is like on this train, the Class 444. So that is something we're going to learn together. I will try to be conservative with it. We are 20 seconds late to Woking. I'm not sure how. We've been going the speed limit basically the entire time. Hello, church. Will we hear bells from this church? That is a thing Train Simulator sometimes has. We might be going too fast to hear bells from the church. No bells. Screenshot. .444 church screenshot banter. Oh man, you missed it, iPhoenix. You missed the announcement of the aquatic activities. So no aquatic activities planned for today. However, I have been pressured to, around Christmas, probably Christmas Eve, do an aquatic train stream where I take a train and put it in a lake. So that's a thing that's going to happen. You can look forward to that.
The train of the lake!
Random noises are happening. That must be Mochi the cat making all those noises. We have a double yellow. I've not been paying as close to attention to the signals as I should. But it is just trying to ease me down into the speed limit for Woking, which I appreciate. We are going 50 miles an hour. In the interest of not being any later, I'm actually going to speed up slightly because I see my ETA slipping here. We're supposed to be stopping at the platform in 45 seconds. Does not look like that's going to happen. You know, I'm not sure if... Now, this is something I'd like to look up. I'm not sure if England ever had trolleys the way we did in the U.S. I better go into suppression, or else this is going to get mad at me. We are diverging. That's what the 40-mile-an-hour limit is. We're going to be diverging to the left. That's a little feather. Alright, we are at the 40, so we can ease off the brakes. Put on a little power to maintain our speed. Ah, there's a tall building in Woking. I have never been to Woking, virtually or physically. I probably can leave that out. Let's just have a blanket. I've never been to any of these places. For now. For now. Yep, we are late. We are late. We are late, and I hope we don't lose too many points. I took that set of points at exactly the speed limit. I don't think I would have done that in real life. That seemed a little aggressive. Now, let's see if we can be professional about stopping at the end of the platform. I don't know what length of train we have. Otherwise, I would try to stop at the proper marker. Oh yeah, nice smooth stop. Ladies and gentlemen, this station stop is Woking. As you alight from today's train, please remember to bring all of your belongings with you. We don't want them. You can keep them. This is a Southwest Trains to Portsmouth. A minor stream interruption? Oh no. That was Nick making noises. Pie Man. 239 points. We did not get all the points. That is very disappointing. Doors are closed. I got a little bit carried away on the departure there, but it's alright. Let's see if we can do better next time. So we are now 13 points down. I think that's still a gold star. We have a double yellow here, so we'll be mindful of that. But as you may remember, in the British signaling system, it's a double yellow, then single yellow, and then red. So I believe double yellow is slow to 30 and expect to have to stop. I am rusty on this. I'll have to look it up again. We have a single yellow and a diverging, so we can expect a red. I will ease our train out of here. In fact, I think that means I'm supposed to go down to 15 miles an hour. Am I still here? Hey look, a bot. Hello, bot. Sorry about the stream interruption there. I don't know what happened. Bit of a hiccup. So, apparently Woking is a junction of some sort because I just took the left branch. I don't know where the right branch went. Ooh, next stop is Guildford Platform 4 in 5.5 miles. Which is not the same as Guildford. In Connecticut, there is a town called Guildford that is quite close to a place I go a lot. Let's speed and power it. And I will take a sip of my coffee. Coffee heals all ills. A little bit of tunnel horn action. I am audible. This is good to hear. Phoenix, that's a good question. I guess they assume it's just such a basic piece of knowledge that you shouldn't have to be told what it is. British. This is a dangerous thing to do. British signals double yellow, single yellow, miles per hour. Let's see if Google can make sense of that. Double yellow, preliminary caution. The next signal is displaying a single yellow aspect. Single yellow, caution. The driver must prepare to stop the train at the next signal. Red is, as it always is, danger/stop. It does not specifically say, at least on Wikipedia, the speed limit associated with that. So that may be route specific. I remember for, I think it was the ECML, it was 30 and 15. 84 miles an hour. There's a manual for this route. I could have read the manual before starting the stream, but, you know, I could also have not, which I didn't. We're going down a slight decline, so I'm going to ease off the power slightly. And we only have 3 miles to Guildford, so I want to be aware of that. Googling while driving. I know, I'm sorry. I should be ashamed of myself. I would not do that in a real train. My phone would be away, as it should be. One of the interesting differences between these trains and the trains that I'm used to operating are that, so there's these different notches. You may have seen on my HUD at the bottom, it goes neutral, or rather, what do they call it here? Off, notch 1, notch 2, notch 3, notch 4, notch 5. In a trolley or tram, you are not supposed to run for a long time in these intermediate notches. You can go through the slow notches to get to the fast notch, but you should only run in this top notch. If you want to go a slower speed, what you do is you notch up from off to whatever notch you want. You speed up a little bit faster than you want to go, and then you go off and you wait until you coast down to a little bit too slowly. Then you notch up again and you speed up to a little too fast, and so on and so forth. But in this type of train, you can hold yourself in a resistance notch because they're designed for you to be able to do that. We have a 50 mile an hour limit coming up. And Guildford. We're now on a 2-track line, a little bit more rural as we continue to go southwest out of London. We have, don't want to go into full service. That was the opposite direction. I think I've said this before. I mean, one thing I've said repeatedly before is that I want to show you my setup and put a camera behind me so you can see all my screens and I can spread this across all my screens rather than what I'm doing now, which is only put it on one screen. Hey, another train. Hello, train. The other thing I want to do is it would be really cool in my infinite free time to build the equivalent of a rail driver. A rail driver is this plastic control thing that emulates a real, cab. It has a handle for your throttle, a handle for your brake, buttons for the other things. And I would love to make one that's a little bit more substantial. I don't have one of those, but it would be cool to take a brake handle and a controller from a real train and make something. Oh, we have a 10-car train. I see that. So let's see if we can find a 10-car marker. We're going a little bit speedily. There's the 5 and 6 car marker. There's the 10-car marker. Whoop. See how close we can get ourselves to that 10-car marker. We're losing a little bit of time, but that's all right. Oh, no, we're actually early. And feather it. Beautiful. How did we do? Very nice, very nice. There's the 10-car marker. Sir, the stairs are at the other end. I could have come a little bit closer, but that's not bad. Let's see if we can get some screenshotage while we're here. 444010. Oh, hello, train. Wow. Way to grind your brakes, dude. Southwest Trains, this is a class 450. All right, I was wrong. So this route has at least 444s and 450s on it. I don't know too much about either of those, but I will learn. So, that's a good question, Pie Man. So, England is interesting. England uses kilograms for weight, but miles for distance. FYI. So, I've been... Oh, hello, train. It's been suggested to me that I just borrow the pieces I need to build this better controller for my virtual trains from somewhere that needs them. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'd prefer not to. Beep, 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 beep. So it is accurate for me to use miles per hour, Pieman. Now you know. Timeliness bonus, 250. All right, so we got our full 250 that time. This time I'll wait till the doors actually close before I take off. I will start easing off the brake. Doors are closed. Guard says, hooray. Notch 3, let's go. So I'm going to guess that this is either Train Simulator is bad at simulation, which is possible, or this is a DC train. If you hear the noise that the motors are making, they're kind of going up in tone, which is usually the characteristic of DC motors. If they are AC motors, you will usually hear that they have single notes. They make like one note and then instantly switch to another note, like do, do, do. And that is the characteristic of an AC motor. AC motors are used in modern trains and are better. I saw that. We lost some points there, but it's okay. They're more efficient and have better... I think they have better starting torque characteristics than DC motors. That I would have to double check. We are now 21 points down. I am worried. Anyway, I'm sure there will be more about AC and DC motors in future streams. Rosemary, thank you for that information. So, read what Rosemary said. That is your answer. Mish mash mish. I'm particularly confused by the centimeters and meters for small things and miles for big things. That baffles me. Next stop is Haslemere. Haslemere? That seems like it would be the right way to say that. Also, I guess I've been staying in the cab most of the time today. Maybe I'll duck my head out so we can take a look. Oops. What do I want to do? Nope. 3? How do I stick my head out? I forgot how to do that. Oh, not bad. That's how we get in the back seat. We don't want to do that. It's usually something like 2 or control 2. Huh. Maybe this train doesn't have it. We could be a passenger. Oh, these are nice carriages. Oh, these are very nice. These look comfy. I could enjoy riding in one of these. Look out the window at the scenery. Good thing we have our driver watching the train for us, so we can just relax back here. Luggage space up there. Comfy plush seats, a table. I can put my laptop down and play trains while I ride trains. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. For some reason, it didn't occur to me that I can operate the British trains while I ride the British trains when I go to Britain to ride the trains. I have done this on Amtrak before, although my laptop is a little bit underpowered for Train Simulator. I don't know why it didn't occur to me I can do it in England too. Maybe because when I ride the trains, I'll probably be so interested in riding the trains that I don't want to do other things. So, that's the thing. So, trains. Oh, so I said that I normally go and do my museum real big trains. What? I'm speeding? Oh no. I missed that 70. Dang it. Oh, that's where my points go. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Son of a gun. Now I'm going to have to redo this route at some point to make those points up. Ah, this is what happens when people say distracting things to me. That's really unfortunate. Coming down for the 50. 60 now. So many things go beep. Down for the 60. That's really unfortunate. That's disappointing. It's alright. All part of the fun. All part of the fun. The next stop, I believe, is our last stop. Train things. Yes, so I normally go do real big train things on Sundays. I did not this week. Recently, because of COVID, the ongoing pandemic, I have been taking Amtrak to where I go for that. It is not much more expensive, and they are much better at enforcing masks and keeping people far apart. So that is what I've been doing, and I have been taking my favorite Amtrak train, the Vermonter. In pandemic times, Vermont is no longer subsidizing the Vermonter, which they usually do. So it has not been going... Why am I getting a beep? Hold on. It has not been going as far as Vermont. It has been stopping in Connecticut. And I heard through a little birdie that today, Sunday, the 29th of November, is the last day for the Vermonter even to go as far as New Haven. I'm going to speed up because I can. And it's going to be canceled entirely for the foreseeable future, and it's not clear when it's going to start up again. So I had an opportunity to ride it on its last day today. I did not. Probably a good thing because lots of Thanksgiving traveling and germs are going to be happening today. But I am sad, and I certainly hope it comes back and does not just fall by the wayside. That would be very sad. I would be very, very disappointed about that. We have an 85 coming up, so we can stay at notch 5. So it's nice, the way they've arranged the keys. I have to keep my 3 middle fingers on my left hand on WASD, Q, and E. W and S control forward, reverse, neutral. A and D control the combined throttle brake in this train. And Q is the AWS alerter. That's this yellow button when there's a speed limit warning. And E, as we've discovered, is the driver vigilance thing. Almost at 84. 85, excuse me. Don't want to speed again. We've already lost way too many points to speeding. We need more trains, not fewer trains. It is nice that I think more people are considering trains as a long-distance option during the COVID pandemic. However, I think a lot of people are also buying and renting and using cars, which is not so great. All the studies I've seen suggest that mass transit is not a significant way that COVID gets spread, especially since most trains are very good at ventilation. I know the long-distance Amtrak trains, for example, recycle the air every 1 or 2 minutes or so. Also, we are going up a big hill, so even though I'm in notch 5, we are barely gaining speed. And we're about to start going down the hill again. If you're wondering how I know that, not only looking at the real world out here, but the slope of the little line on my HUD. Oh, we're speeding. Let's not do that. If you strap people to the top of the train. So, when I was rather younger, as part of an 8th grade class trip, I got to go to Ecuador and the Galapagos. That was a whistle board, that's why I'm whistling. And I'm doing an American style whistle. Sorry, England. And in Ecuador, we rode a train throughout quite an area where I think there were not good roads to travel from point A to point B, or we just rode it for fun. I'm not actually sure. And we rode on top of the train. The train had like a low bar at the top for safety, and we rode on top of the train. We rode over some bridges, over some gorges on top of this train, and it was very fun. I feel like they probably wouldn't do that anymore. Probably, because liability and stuff. This was a few years ago, but I'm not sure. Hey, Isder, thank you for joining us. I'm just talking about riding dangerously on top of trains because Pie Man thinks we should just strap people to the top of trains so they don't get COVID. There is that stereotype about India and people riding on the outside of trains. I have not been to India, so I do not know. I get the impression that it's some trains, not all trains, from talking to people who have been to India, but I do not know enough to speak intelligently on the topic. I'm sure you all are familiar with the horn pattern for American trains, long, long, short, long. If you're not, it is long, long, short, long, and you're supposed to time it so that you can sustain the last long until you finish going through the road or the path that crosses the train tracks, which is what I've been doing. All right, Haslemere is coming up, so let us do some slowing down. And I believe that is the end of this scenario, and we will switch to port 2, which will get us from Haslemere all the way to Portsmouth. I'm doing pretty well, thank you, Isder. How are you doing? It is a Sunday of trains, which is always a fun thing for Kerm. This incline is very much helping us slow down, almost a little too much. Alright, hello Haslemere. Let's see if we can find the 10-car stop. I am fanning the brakes a little bit. I apologize for that. That is unprofessional. Where is the 10-car stop? There's the 4. There's the 6. There it is all the way at the end of the platform. 10 and 12 together. We are early. Well done. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hello, cat. There's a cat in my room. It goes meow. We have opened our doors here. Oh, we have quite a while to wait while people disembark from our train. Take some screenshots here just in case this is the end. I need to have enough screenshots to make the thumbnail for this video when it goes up on YouTube. Oh, sorry to hear that, Isder. Hello, Mockingbird. Appreciate it. Dr. Martian. Very nice. Very nice. Speaking of MOCs, I need to work on my Amfleet Lego model. I recently made a Lego set. I had 3 in progress. Now I only have 2 in progress because I finished one, made an instruction book for it, made a fake box for it, and sent it off to the person to whom it was going. But I definitely need to work on my Amfleet some more. I was making a Lego MOC of an Amfleet, and I got stuck on the end. But more on that later. Scenario complete. This is not going to be good. 676. Is that our final score? That is our final score. We got a bronze star. That is very disappointing because we lost so many points to speeding. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this stream. Don't worry, I'm not going away. This is the end of this video if you're watching this later on YouTube, but I hope you will, other than doing all those, things that YouTubers always tell you to do, so that you see all of my train videos in the future and my calculator videos and etc. Please continue in part 2, which will start momentarily.